The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Tomorrow it all starts. Training camp officially underway. A Jets insider listed the 5 must-watch players this summer for the Jets. We'll talk about that and much more. Nick Shine will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go on training camp eve. Welcome in, everybody. Speaking of training camp, I'm rocking my Cloverleaf Tavern hat. We have just 18 spots left as of this recording for our Chef Kevin's restaurant training camp meetup at the Cloverleaf Tavern Saturday, August 2nd, after the Jets green and white scrimmage that morning. Cloverleaf Tavern, Caldwell, New Jersey, located about 30 minutes from One Jets Drive. We will be there. I'll be doing my show from there. It's going to be a great afternoon. Free food, free drinks, giveaways, signed merch. We'll raffle away. Chef Kevin himself is making the food and beverage menu, so come hang with Asmaniacs after Jets training camp. Less than 2 weeks from now, baby. August 2nd after the Jets green and white scrimmage. If you want to RSVP, click the link in the description for the show you're watching right now. With that said, let's say hello to our dear friend, the host of the Nick Shine Show, Nick Shine. Nick, happy training camp eve to you.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. I'm fired up, ready to go. Camp tomorrow. Report date is tomorrow. First on-field practice will be Wednesday. So that probably means the first padded practice could be Friday in front of the fans or Saturday in front of the fans, which I think is pretty cool if you're a Jet fan making the trip out to the Jet facility later this week.
Yeah, it's exciting, right? Like Zach Rosenblatt had a tweet this morning. Sauce and Garrett are signed. Jermaine and Irv Charles are on the PUP list, which was expected. And Mason Taylor just got signed. There's no drama going into camp for a team that a lot of drama has been around for the last couple of years. So it's different. You know, it could be a sign of things to come, which I think we're all looking forward to. We want our storylines to be on what we do on the field in a positive way, right? We don't want headlines in July or players holding out. You know, we want a well-run machine as an organization. So it's a different time for us.
It's exciting to be a normal franchise to this point. We know there's going to be adversity at some point. That's just life as a Jet fan. You know it's coming. But I think that's really a big question for Aaron Glenn and the staff. How do they handle when adversity strikes? Because it's going to happen to every team, and we're still in that honeymoon period with Glenn and this new regime. People want to be optimistic. Go for it. It's July 21st. How do they handle adversity? How do they handle the unfortunate reality of injury striking this team at some point? That's going to be something to watch in year one with this new coaching staff going at it.
Yeah, you know, Glenn's first time at the head of the table. So, you know, we're seeing some things. You know, he's spoken out loud about training camp will be a little more contact than we've seen in the past, you know, with the non-hitting days of Robert Saleh and co. So, you know, he's going to put his imprint on the team, and everything he's going through, he's going to go through it for the first time. But I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think he's got a good plan, and he knows who he wants this team to be. So looking forward to his evolution as a head coach and eventually hopefully getting into that upper echelon of head coaches in the league.
Let's hope. Let us hope. If you're watching live right now, boy, do we have a fun giveaway to kick off training camp for the New York Jets. End of the show today, I'm giving away a signed and authenticated 8x10 photo of the greatest Jet of all time, Joe Namath. Broadway Joe signed photo. Gift the membership to be eligible. And if you don't win, don't worry. You have another chance later this week to win a signed Joe Namath item. How about a Joe Namath helmet and a Justin Fields helmet? Quarterback theme raffle this week to kick off Jets training camp. So multiple chances to win items throughout the show this week, but we start off training camp week with a bang. Broadway Joe Namath signed photo, gift memberships to be eligible, and shout out to Mike D's Nuts, who entered the raffle before the show began. And of course, Rick Ken, who actually had the honor and privilege to watch Broadway Joe play. He joins the AsmanJake raffle with a 10 spot. Give it up for Rick. Love it. Positive vibes here. Positive vibes. All right, so Brian Costello of the New York Post, he wrote a story, top 5 Jets players to watch during training camp in 2025. So we will give you Costello's list, and then Nick and I will share some other players that we believe you can make the case should be on this top 5. The number 1 player that Kaz had on his list, I don't think anyone is surprised about this, Justin Fields. Look, he's the quarterback. It's an easy name to start with. So much of the Jets' success hinges on whether or not Justin Fields could take a huge step forward in his development. And we're not going to know necessarily through training camp, but you definitely want the arrow trending up going into that regular season with Fields in this offense.
Yeah, I had Dylan Terman on the show last night, and we presented 3 storylines each to keep an eye on, and one that I presented is Justin Fields. Not just all of it, right? His efficiency. Is he getting the ball out on time? Is he getting it to receivers in stride? Is he just doing checkdowns? How are they utilizing him? Is he more of a pocket passer? We know he can run with his legs. We know that's the easy part of the game for him. But watching him hopefully develop and evolve in the pocket as a passer is the biggest thing for me, right, with this team. It all hinges on him. Can he get to being an average quarterback? Can he be efficient on 3rd and 6s? Are they calling plays for him to make these throws? Are they just doing screens and don't have faith in him to really make those, killer QB throws that you see a lot of other quarterbacks do throughout the league? So I'm looking forward to his evolution, and hopefully, we catch lightning in a bottle here. We've seen other teams, as you and I have both mentioned, we've seen other teams get a quarterback and make something out of his career. Like, let's hope that Engstrand and co can do that with him.
Wouldn't that be nice if the Jets are the team that actually becomes a developmental program for a quarterback that has bounced around, as we've seen, as you brought up, other Jets quarterbacks do that elsewhere. Wouldn't it be nice if the Jets flip that narrative on its head and they're the team that gets the most out of Justin Fields? Now, number 2 on Kaz's list is Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine, of course, coming off the torn Achilles tendon. Over the weekend, he was placed on the PUP list. Now, that doesn't mean that he had a setback or anything, Jet fans. What it simply means is they're going to take their time easing him back into things. Jermaine himself actually took to social media and said he's 100%. The Jets just want to be careful, and he agrees with that. They could take him off the PUP list at any time, so I wouldn't be surprised if a week or so into camp, Jermaine gets cleared and he's ready to roll. But Jermaine is obviously a key piece to this defense. We talk about the run defense being such a problem last year. I don't think it's any coincidence that Jermaine missed most of the season, and then the run defense took a nosedive without him. I think he's their best all-around defensive lineman, defensive end. So getting him back and what version we get him at, I think is a major key for the defense.
Yeah, Dylan and I discussed this as well. It's another one I brought up last night. Kaz must be watching the show, so shout out to Kaz. Jermaine Johnson, he's our passion. He's our fire. He's our leader. We lost that when we lost him in week 2, on top of his performance and setting the edge and rushing the passer. He's a guy that I expect to be off the PUP list sometime in August, but I don't know if we're going to see him full week 1. I've discussed the pitch count, maybe 16 to 20 plays to start and kind of get him, because we know there's a difference from being in shape and being in game shape. And the last thing you want is to have him go have another setback. So I think you're going to see him utilized early in the season, red zone, 3rd, 4th down, maybe a 2nd and 12 when you want to have that. Not that Glenn is calling it that, but we've called it the turbo package when you want to get your best pass rushers out there for long situations. And Jermaine is a really big piece to this defense. We don't have. He's one of our most valuable players in the sense that nobody else can do what he does. We don't have anyone else. You could say Sauce, but we got other guys who can cover well. Garrett Wilson, no one else can do what he can do with that room. Jermaine Johnson, no one else can do what he does in this position room. So Jermaine getting back to his old self and even taking it further in year 4 now for him, that's a big thing for this Jets team.
The next player on the list is a guy they signed in free agency. You mentioned the corners. How about Brandon Stevens? They gave him the big money, 3 years, $36 million deal in March. He replaces DJ Reed. There's going to be, quote, pressure on Stevens playing opposite Sauce. I also think there's some pressure on Stevens because the Jets, surprisingly at the time, used a third-round pick on a guy in Azie Thomas that many thought was a late first, second-round type of guy, but only dropped because he ran a slow 40 at the combine. Glenn doesn't seem to care about your combine speed. He talked about his playing speed. And once again, if we can't trust Aaron Glenn when it comes to corner evaluation, what can we trust him on, right? So I think it's interesting because Stevens got paid, and now you drafted someone that many think could be better than Stevens at some point in Azie Thomas. So I want to see how he looks this summer when he gets an opportunity to go up against Garrett Wilson in camp, and then they have joint practices, so you'll see him against Malik Neighbors. It's going to be fascinating to see what that looks like with Stevens stepping in for DJ Reed in the secondary.
Yeah, he's going to be targeted. If we expect Sauce to be the corner that he just got paid to be, the best in football, we expect to see him do some things differently, right? Travel with the number one, which is going to mean Stevens is going to be targeted more. Now, how does he respond to that? Can he handle that? If not, there's a rookie sitting right there that Dom C, a good friend of both of ours, had ranked 17th overall. A guy who you said fell because of his speed, but he's a player. And, Dylan and I discussed Azie Thomas last night as well. He made a comment in the chat that Kaz basically watched the show last night and put an article out about it today. But Thomas, that's a guy who's ready to go. That's a guy who's ready to play and make an impact immediately. Now, it's not a knock on Stevens at all, but Thomas is right there for the taking. And if Stevens doesn't play at a level that he got paid to play at, I don't think Aaron Glenn will have any issue making a move. So Stevens, you hate to say this for a guy who's never played a game as a Jet and just signed a 3-year, $36 million deal, Jake, but you could say he's on a hot seat very quickly here.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think when it comes to just the way this team is built, the fact that Stevens also could play safety, has played safety in the NFL before, there's always that fallback option of you move Thomas to corner and Stevens becomes one of your safeties. Like, I don't think Tony Adams' job in the secondary is a sure thing. I mean, this is a guy that the owner went out of his way last year to bench, right? So I think when you look at the secondary, maybe Stevens doesn't finish the year at corner, but that doesn't mean he's on the bench, if that makes sense.
100%. I think there's going to be a little more creativity on the back end with what we do here and how we attack the offense and how we look to neutralize the passing attack. So I expect there to be an evolution of Azie Thomas where we see him come in, kind of like I was saying with JJ, right? Not a pitch count, but you're going to introduce him more and more as the season goes on. And the better he plays and the more he shows his ability to adapt, I like the kid. I'm rooting for the kid. And we know Ricky New York is too.
Yeah, we know Ricky New York certainly is Mr. Florida State himself. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. How about some breaking news here on a Monday on Training Camp Eve?
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Beastbreaker writes in, just got off the toilet. Beast, God help us all, because I'm sure that is probably a foul stench, to say the least.
I hope he finished his Cinnamon Toast Crunch before he got in the bathroom. He clicked in at the end of my show and said, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. All right, I'll see you on Jake's show.
Thank you, Beast. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going through the headline here. Top 5 Jets players to watch during training camp. Brian Costello, longtime Jets reporter, came up with his list. Nick and I have some players we will add to the names here, some names that I believe should have been on this list from Kaz, but we got 2 more players to go through. The next player is a guy who signed his rookie contract on Friday, Mason Taylor. So the Jets have all their draft picks signed. Mason Taylor was the 42nd pick in the draft. Kaz writing, quote, the second-round pick from LSU projected to be the starting tight end. We'll see how quickly he could get acclimated to the NFL. Look, if he's anywhere close to Sam Laporta, the Jets obviously struck gold with that pick. Most rookie tight ends don't have that prolific of an impact. I mean, forget the Brock Bowers conversation. That was a historic outlier type year. But I do think Mason Taylor is going to play a role. I expect him to get better as the year goes on, as rookies typically do. And I liked the pick at the time, so I'm excited to see what he could do. I definitely think he's someone that we're going to be following closely all summer.
Yeah, this team after Garrett and Brees, who's wide receiver too, right? he's gonna be second on catches on the team. We're looking for that third weapon. We're looking for that third guy, and a lot of people believe Mason Taylor can be that guy. His skill set, what he brings to the table. If Angstrand and Turner can put together a scheme, and don't forget, Turner comes from Oakland, Vegas, where they used Brock Bowers pretty well in the passing game last year. So, and Angstrand's had Laporta. So they have two guys designing this offense who know how to get the tight end the ball.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Never gets old.
No. Yeah, they know how to get the tight end the ball. And he's going to have opportunities. There's not a lot to be desired about in our wide receiver room. So Brees out of the backfield, Taylor on crossing routes, getting him the ball in space is going to be something that they should look to do. And we know that Justin Fields loved throwing the Cole Kmet when he was in Chicago. He had 2 good seasons with him in 22 and 23. So Taylor is going to have opportunities and make the most of them. And we need this. We really need a good tight end. The way the NFL is nowadays, it's a weapon that you have to have. And it like we didn't have a mobile quarterback. We didn't have a tight end threat. Now we do. So hopefully they can work together. You know, a good running game and a tight end are a quarterback's best friend.
The final player on the top 5 from Kaz in the Post is Joe Tippmann, the center. Tippmann, quote, started every game at center last year for the Jets, but the team signed veteran Josh Myers this offseason. And GM Darren Muji said Myers could push Tippmann. Feels like Tippmann's starting job is likely safe, but it is something to watch. I'd be shocked if Tippmann is not the starting center. That said, I think signing Myers was a good move. He's got plenty of starting experience. I think the depth of the O-line is a lot better than it was at this time last year. But just not even just with Tippmann, but just in general, you know, the O-line gelling, that is something if you want to just like combine all 5 of the projected starters, put them together. Like the O-line gelling is so critical this summer. 4 of the 5 guys have already played together. You're adding Armand Membu to the offensive line unit. Use the 7th pick in the draft on the guy. Like the O-line needs to be a major strength for the Jets. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to elevate Justin Fields. Like the O-line has to be really good for the Jets to be a team that is going to win, 9-10 games if you want to try and end this playoff drought.
Yeah, and for me, Tippmann is center 1, but he's guard 3, right? If something were to happen to one of the guards, I think our best 5 is slotting Tippmann over to guard and bringing Myers in at center. So, I mean, Tippmann has some flexibility, and I think the position is his. I know people are talking about it. Tippmann should not be pushed by Myers. He can learn from him, but Tippmann should go to the next level. And, something that I've said is that last year, Rodgers making all these checks up until 1 second left on the play clock can affect how the offensive line reacts because the defense is making changes now up to the last second as well. And sometimes it'll be, as they're moving around, it's more difficult to identify who you're supposed to block. So the offense calling the play and running the play as is should help Tippmann and should help the entire offensive line. And, he's big, he's strong. He's not a dominant force at center, but he's good enough where he can do seal blocks and cut off the defensive lineman. Sometimes that's all you need is just get in the way and open up a hole. So Joe Tippmann, I don't see him losing the job to Myers. He'd have to really, really regress, in my opinion, Jake. But I think he's safe. Kaz has been pretty on point with these 4, but this one I do have to disagree with. This could almost be media trying to manufacture a story to have, since we don't have any drama, right? They want to have Jets drama come camp, and this to me feels more manufactured than it's actually credible.
Well, if you want the case for Tippmann being on here, if they start rotating at center early in front of the media as they watch all these practices that are, open for the media to watch, even the ones that aren't for the public, the media is there every day. If they start rotating guys early at center, Tippmann and Myers, then it will be, a story from the standpoint on, it'll be mentioned, it'll be reported on. But I think by the second week of camp, I think Tippmann will solidify himself as the starting center because I think you want Justin Fields to start to get as many reps as possible with the guy who's going to be, snapping the ball to him. You want Justin Fields to feel comfortable with the guy that he's going to be, placing his hands under his derriere for what we hope is 17 plus games this year.
Interesting way to put it.
Yep.
Yeah, Tippmann has been quite the story in training camp. I'm old enough to remember 2022, his rookie year, when he was third on the center depth chart and had the yips with snapping in the last week of July, and fans were labeling him a bust on Twitter. So Tippmann seems to be the guy that.
Well, that's two separate things. That was 2 years ago with the depth chart stuff. Last year, he had the yips at the beginning of camp, and then by the end of camp, he was fine. Remember, he played in the first preseason game. He was like the only starter.
Yeah, he seemed to be. Center is a position New York Jets fans can hold in high regard, right? We went from Y to Mangold. Center is a position that we expect greatness at, and we don't expect greatness very much. Cornerback and center are the two places that you could say the New York Jets have been really good throughout their history. So, he's got big shoes to fill trying to be a franchise center for the New York Jets. And I think the fans put a little bit of unnecessary pressure on him in July, in early August, but I think he's a good enough player to put those worries to rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Kevin is in the house. Jake, thanks for all your continued support. We get an early show with Nick Shine. Life is good. Rain or shine, August 2nd. Meetup at Cloverleaf will be legendary. Tons of A-list Asmaniacs are confirmed. Let's go, Jets. Chef Kevin's place is the place to be on August 2nd, Jet fans. 18 spots remain. So RSVP if you want to meet up with your fellow Asmaniacs after the Jets' green and white scrimmage that morning. All the info is in the description. We have a custom Jake Asman themed menu that Chef Kevin is preparing, including one of the items already spoiled on the show, Nick Shine, the Roseanne Gorman-inspired chicken noodle soup.
Very nice. Very nice. Looking forward to it. Now, Chef Kevin, I do have the recipe. Do I have to get that to you?
I think Chef Kevin has it as well.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Shenanigans are running amok here. Okay, I see how it is.
Get ready, people. Going to be a great time. Looking forward to seeing so many people in less than 2 weeks. And Chef Kevin, I got you down in our raffle for 5. For those of you just tuning in, it's Training Camp Eve, so we're going big with the giveaway at the end of the stream today. First time I've ever done a Namath prize in a daily raffle. End of this stream, right? This first show. Signed Joe Namath photo, I give away to one lucky Jet fan. Gift the membership or do what Chef Kev just did at Fastest Food Reviews by sending in a super chat, $10 super chat, get you 2 tickets, 20 get you 5, so on and so forth. With that said, we went through Costello's list. Nick, I'm going to give you a player that I believe should have been in the top 5, and it's Malachi Corley. First pick of the 3rd round. They traded up for him. Previous regime, I understand, made that decision, but you look at the receivers for the Jets, after Garrett Wilson, it's a bunch of question marks, including the guy who's reportedly the clear-cut number 2 in Josh Reynolds. Corley, we all think has talent. I mean, a lot of us, myself included, we were in favor of that decision last year. We thought it made sense. He barely played last year. When he did, he had the infamous Houston Texans moment where he dropped the ball at the goal line. Same receiver coach under Corley last year was brought back. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for Malachi Corley. He's got to show something. 1, he's got to be healthy. We don't know if he fully is. And 2, he's got to show something, not just in camp, but he'll be playing in those preseason games. He's got to make plays to make this team. I hope he does, because you don't want to just burn a 3rd-round pick, but I think he is one of the top 5 players that we all should be watching this summer at camp.
Yeah, I mean, you can collectively just say wide receiver 2 through 6 needs to, we're keeping a close eye on that, right? Who does Reynolds stick at number 2? What's Lazard's role? How's Corley utilized? Does Gibson have a role? There's a lot of questions after Garrett, and we need answers. I don't even think the Jets coaching staff has the answers yet. Sometimes we're not privy to the information, but they know it. I can't say that with any confidence, Jake. This whole entire room after G-Dub is in question. So who's going to step up? Who's going to fall off? Collectively, I would take the whole wide receiver room with this, not just Corley, but, you make great points with 3rd-round pick, 0 production last year. Can they find a way to make this guy a contributor to this offense? Because we need contributors in the passing game. We know we're going to be able to run the ball. but you can take the run away if there's no passing threat. And the more threats that we have, the better off this offense will be short and long term.
Super chat from the big fella. Are there tickets to the green and white scrimmage? I believe in 2 days, the Jets will make them available on a first come, first serve basis for people by going through their ticket quo that they set up. So check that out for anyone who's looking for tickets for that. Connor Long checks in with a super chat. Thank you, Connor. Wrote an article on why it's completely irrational to cut Malachi Corley. Too much to type, but if anyone is going to unlock him, it's Engstrand. Look, I do think there's something to be said for the confidence you have in this coaching staff. If they take a guy like Malachi Corley, find a real role for him, and he plays a part, I think the same thing could be said for what happens with Arian Smith as a fourth-round pick that they clearly see some sort of role for with his speed. But ultimately, I just think there's just too many question marks with Corley at this point for me to be like, yeah, I'm super confident like they're going to turn him into something. I mean, look at Joe Douglas's history of drafting skill players other than Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. It's just not good enough. So I don't know. I'm not feeling it with Corley. I hope I'm wrong.
I would say it's 50-50 on him making the roster, right? It's not their guy, like you said.
Yeah, it might be less, honestly. I think it's maybe like 30% he makes it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty down on Corley, though. Maybe other people feel differently.
Yeah. I mean, he's done nothing to be high on, right? Anything he did was in college. He's not a great route runner. A lot of the questions that we had about him coming into last training camp proved to be true. Now, does having an offense where the quarterback's not changing the plays all the time and the routes help him, where he knows the play coming out of the huddle, to be seen? Yeah, I don't want to put it all on Rodgers. Corley did not do well last year. He was unplayable most games. So to get anything out of him would be a credit to this coaching staff. But is he that bad of a route runner that he might not even make the squad? That it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Nick, I gave you one of my top 5. Give me a guy that you think should have been on this list.
I'm going to take a little different approach here, and I'm not going to give you a name. I'm just going to go with a position. DN3. Who steps up as DN3? Jermaine Johnson might be on a pitch count early in the season. Who's that guy that's going to fill in? I think all of us, besides Knobcraft, do not want to see Michael Clemens in a significant role on this defensive line. Does the rookie Barron step up? Does McGregor or Watts have a bigger role? Is there an undrafted guy from this year's class who they bring in and who really hits the ground running? So knowing that Will McDonald hasn't been very good in run defense, he did add some muscle, so maybe that'll help him this year. Who's DN3? Who's that guy that's going to fill in and not be a revolving door? And who's going to solidify himself as that guy who can get in there and contribute in the run and maybe even get a couple sacks in minimal time? So that third defensive end, because I think that's a real big weak spot on this team. I'm not saying nobody can step up and fill those shoes, but with the questions with Jermaine's health, with the questions with Will as a run defender, who's going to be DN3? That's something to me that you rotate at that position. You're going to get valuable minutes. Who is it?
Man, I hope it's someone that's not on the team right now. Jadeveon Clowney, for example, would be someone I would love to see this team sign. And just in general, you look at the D-line. That's why Jermaine being pretty close to what he was as quickly as possible is super important, because they just don't have the depth after Jermaine and McDonald at that position.
Yeah, Weaver also, who I didn't mention, but none of these guys are wowing anyone, right?
I'm not wowed.
I'm not wowed.
Zadarius Smith is still out there, right? He's a free agent. I'd like to see the Jets bring him in.
Yeah, when things get real and they start hitting, because we are going to hit more under an Aaron Glenn training camp than we have in the past. That might be something that has to get addressed immediately.
Would be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, comments, questions, super chats will, in fact, cut the line. We are presented today by my friends at Circa. I will be there broadcasting our show from their kickoff to contest weekend on August 21st and August 22nd. If you don't know about Circa's football contest, listen up, because you're about to.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ultimate Contest Weekend. Come hang out August 21st through the 23rd. Our show will be at their Radio Row from the 21st and the 22nd. There's a cocktail party, meet and greet, Stadium Swing Open Bar. They got a bunch of awesome football preview panels, and Circa's just a great place to hang. So if you want a trip to Vegas before the season starts and you want to enter Circa's incredible Circa Million and Circa Survivor contests, it's the place to be, baby. See you guys in Vegas in about a month from right now. So I'm certainly looking forward to that. And of course, shout out to Circa for being an amazing partner of our show. Let's say hello again to Nick Shine. We're going to open up the phone line. So if you want to call into the show, you can. Before we do that, though, Nick, you know we've been doing the Azie Awards. You're a part of the committee that weighed in and opined on all these awards. It's been a fun run so far. Today, we're going to give out our 10th Azie Award, and it's a great category. The Young Guns Award will be voted on in our Azie Awards. It features the nominees: Decker, Connor Long, Jack Talks Jets, and Chris Grasso. Nick, as someone who was a part of the committee, why do you feel these were the 4 deserving nominees?
You know, the 3 guys who do the show together, they're great. You know, it's cool to see the young guys in the community and watching them grow, develop, and getting better day by day. And Decker's one of one, right? She's sweet. She's adorable. It's mind-boggling. She's related to Gary at times. So she's precious. She's awesome.
It's fitting that Gary won best takes, or worst takes, excuse me, and Decker has a chance to be the best young gun. It just shows you that sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree.
It does. I'm sure Gary will be fired up coming on.
He was very upset that his dog Cannoli did not win best mascot, and Beast Guinea Pig Little Joey took home that Azie Award during my Saturday show.
Oh, I mean, there was a birthday show celebration for a guinea pig. I mean, you had to see that one coming, Gary. I don't know how Gary could be upset about that. There was a birthday show celebration for a guinea pig. I repeat that because that just shows the level of love for little Joey. No knock to Cannoli or any of the other entrants, but that's a world of its own.
Well said. By the way, I'd be remiss if we didn't mention the honorable mention in this category. Josh Woolever is the honorable mention. Josh, obviously a frequent caller when he's not in camp to the show. So shout out to Josh. Ladies and gentlemen.
I like Josh. Josh's a little wise ass.
I
like Josh. He was trying to convince everyone he was from Hawaii at first. And then when I saw him at your draft party, he's like, yeah, I flew in from Hawaii. And I looked at him, I was like, come on, kid. Just like shook my head and walked away.
Ladies and gentlemen, voting for the Azzies this morning is officially underway.
It's time for the Azie Awards. Gotta get through Jets off season. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? These Asmaniac callers are legends. It's up to the chat. It's your time to vote. You gotta decide who's better. Asmaniacs drive the Jake Asman Show. That's why we gotta have these Azie Awards.
Training Camp Eve and the Young Guns Award is officially being voted on during my second show this afternoon. Favorite co-host, favorite guest host will be voted on. The nominees for that, one of them's in the chat right now, Dylan Terriman, Andrew Fialco, who unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately for us, but we're very happy for him. He got accepted a coaching job at Don Bosco, so he will not be a regular on the show this season, but he still will be making appearances from time to time. We love Fialco. Jeff Parles will be back with us this season, and Will Parkinson, who's been a regular with us every football season on typically Mondays. He is nominated for this as well. The honorable mention for this was Matt O'Leary. So shout out to Matt. These are the committees for, so we'll vote on this in the afternoon, but make sure you guys vote right now for the Young Guns Azie Award. And for those of you tuning in late, awesome giveaway on Training Camp Eve. Joe Namath authenticated 8x10 photo. Your chance to win that at the end of the show by gifting a channel membership to be eligible. With that said, let's open up your phone lines, comments, questions, and super chats. They always will cut the line. First up today on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man who won the Azie for best takes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Clifton time.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Morning,
Mr.
Chuck.
Clifton.
Nick's been very busy.
Pumping a lot out, man. That
Morning.
time of year.
It's crazy. I think the person that I would say would be one of the five, say rather than Tippmann, has got to be Membu. If you look at like the bust rate for some of these offensive tackles to come out in the top 20, it's pretty high.
That's a very good one. Yep.
Like he has to be watched. Like you can have all the physical traits in the world, and it has to do with stunts and switches and scheme and all that other stuff when you get to this level.
Is that why you're wearing the glasses? Because you plan on watching him up close this week?
Yes, I've got my Charles Nelson Riley on glasses that I got this week. They look good in the mirror when I first purchased them in the optometrist, but not so great right now.
I like them. It's a good look.
But yeah, I mean, he was the guy that kind of jumped out to me. And then, Nick was talking about the wide receivers. Arian Smith could have been a guy. There's any number of guys. And I naturally thought Corley too, because I don't know which content creator was saying that he actually showed up in Florida for something that Fields had, Corley. So that's a good sign, at least that he's invested or, not bagging out on something that is a little bit extra work. I'm excited to see, some competition, because I feel like, when you don't have a winning tradition and there's spots to be taken, these guys can go grab it, and this is their career, right? Like for Corley, you could just take a look at other guys who recently exited, like Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is getting his third opportunity because of his physical talent and what he did in college. But I don't know that a guy like Corley's going to get that based on the level of competition he played in college. It's a very exciting time. I can't wait to see, when camp opens up and we start hitting a little bit, how this all plays out. And then as far as the Azies go, I got to go with my man Connor. He's someone who has picked up the show seamlessly in Jake's recent absences, and I think he deserves his due with an Azie nod. Thanks for your time.
Now, Kyle, are you going to acknowledge the CNR photo I put up? I mean, those glasses are pretty spot on.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it on the television. I have so I can see the comments here. That's me getting in front of it, right? Like mentioning Charles Nelson Riley. No one else has mentioned that to me, but I could see that the thickness on the sides, because it's really drumming up some memories of that guy. I appreciate the time, guys.
Kyle, excellent call. I'm with him on Membu. I definitely think we did mention, the O-line as a whole when we were talking about Tippmann, but for sure, if you want to just isolate Armand Membu, I mean, he's the 7th pick in the draft. You're obviously expecting him to be an impact player, not just this year, but for years to come. And remember, they chose Membu over potentially taking a weapon, right? They could have taken a wide receiver. They could have obviously taken one of the tight ends. Colston Loveland went 3 picks after Armand Membu went to the Bears. So that's going to be certainly something that we're going to be comparing the Membu selection to, who went after him, and specifically if the Jets are struggling with a lack of weapons like many of us are concerned about, well, Membu better be good, because if Loveland or Bowers or not Bowers, if Loveland or what's his name, the Penn State tight end, Warren, are killing it, then all of a sudden you're going to be like, did we make a mistake here?
Yeah. I mean, you can, hindsight's always 20/20, but I don't think you can be wrong with solidifying your offensive line and having 2 young first-round tackles who potentially can play together their entire career, right? When we took Mangold and Brick in that same draft in 2006, we really put an effort in, and that's when we started getting good, right? Uh, I think Membu is going to be really good, really quick. I think he's going to be a force in the run game. And I think that he might have a little bit of struggle here and there with passing, pass pro. He starts off his career going against TJ Watt, right? They're going to have TJ Watt lined up against him a lot, to break the rookie in and see, who he be. And, he's going to get thrown into the fire right away. You got Highsmith also. So if Watt's on the other side, you still have a good pass rusher in Pitt. So this first game is going to tell us really what Membu could possibly be. He goes out and stalemates TJ Watt. Holy shit, Jake. Like, you know what I mean? If we can, between Olu and Membu, if we can keep Watt to 0 sacks in the first week, we got something we haven't had in a really long time.
Well, you talk about a welcome to the NFL for Membu. And even, Olu, it's not like he has all this experience, right? He started like only 6 games last year before he unfortunately suffered the injury. So how quickly they play like really good football players. It's so important because that's what a lot of us are banking on. I keep going back to a stat I saw from Michael Nania, who kind of ran all the numbers on this. So the Jets were ranked number 9 by Pro Football Focus going into the year with their offensive line. Mm-hmm. And if you go back over the last 2 years, teams that ranked in the top 10 in Pro Football Focus's rankings for O-line, they all had at least 7 wins. 19 of the 20 teams had at least 7 wins, and the average record was 11-6. So if they do have a top 10 O-line, you raise your floor incredibly high, and maybe with really good coaching and some things breaking the Jets' way for once as opposed to the opposite, maybe they can be a 9 or 10 win, sneak into the playoffs type of team if that happens.
If it's, it's an old adage, but it's true. You can control the trenches. You can control the game. And that's something with now RPO in the backfield. You get that defense taking that false step, and then you hit them back the other way, and you design this run game to really attack and be aggressive. We could have a lot of fun with this offense. Running games can be creative. Running games can be fun. It's not just airing the ball out that can create offense anymore. The running game is still relevant, and it opens up the passing game. So if we can control the line, dude, there's nothing more fun than how many times has this happened to us? This scenario. It's 3rd and 3. Defense is out there. We give up a 5-yard run. Fans get dejected. Players put their heads down. The other team gets pumped up. Their drive continues. They go and score. We should be able to do that to people. 4th and 2, we should be able to go and get it. Like it hypes the team up when you're beating the crap out of the D-line and they can't stop you and they know the run is coming and they can't do anything about it. We should be able to do that. We should be able to impose our will on many defensive lines, take their will, deflate them, and continue drives and finish them with touchdowns.
From your lips to God's ears. Ladies and gentlemen, memberships have been slow on the show today, which I'm a little surprised because we have a signed Joe Namath item we're raffling away. So I'm taking matters in my own hands. I gifted 5 channel memberships, and if you got one, I'm putting you in the Namath raffle at the end of the show. So that's right. 5 memberships gifted. I'm not putting myself in my own raffle. So if you hear your name called, guess what? You have a chance to win a signed Joe Namath 8x10 authenticated photo at the end of the show.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
The following 5 people are in the raffle. NYC2SRQ, Mr. Big Skins, Charles Sanders, Beth Page Chris, and Eric Kelly. You're channel members, and you're in the Namath raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan McCarthy, who won a Sauce signed photo last week. He gifted a membership. He joins the Namath raffle for 1. Dominic D'Angelo, he's in the raffle because he gifted a channel membership. And Rick Kenner already gifted 5 gifted 10 during the show. He's now in the raffle once again because guess what? He sent in 5 channel memberships. Let's go, Rick.
It's the AsmanJake membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Appreciate everyone who makes these giveaways possible. We've been doing them basically since the end of June to basically reward all the diehard Jet fans who are still tuned in to content. But guess what? Starting tomorrow, real stuff happening on the field, real news to talk about, press conferences from Glenn and players every day. Can't wait. Anthony Ligariato, who's probably pumped up about the Yankees weekend, he's in the raffle for 5. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Anthony, thank you. Good luck to you. All right, phone lines open. We have a bunch of open slots, so if you don't feel like waiting around, now is the time. First up in this segment on our Gusbuster hotline is none other than
J-O-B, job.
Now guess, Nick, which Mount Unemployment member am I going to first?
I'm going to go with Beast.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Beast. Hello, Beast.
Does anybody want to drink a Snapple?
No, thank you.
How about a water, Beast? That's healthy.
I've been drinking that stuff like a camel. This is actually good. This is actually fruit. Good stuff in the morning.
There's a lot of sugar in there, though, no?
Yeah, you went from Cinnamon Toast Crunch to a Snapple.
Hey, it gets you up in the morning. Plus, it gets circulation running
So
again.
will coffee, Beast, and it won't kill you.
It's also why you need a nap by 3 o'clock because your sugar's so high, you crash.
Well, let's see. I could be Tim Allen, Billy Connolly, Richard Gene from New York City. Even oh my God, there's a guy I can't think of his name. Oh shit, Andrew Dice Clay. Remember that name? Andrew Dice Clay. Hey, I could be just like him too and be like, hey, do I need a cigarette or do I have to go outside and go get me a slice of pizza?
Beast, how about some coffee for caffeine? That's healthy for you. It's not bad.
I tried that with my daughter at Starbucks a couple of years ago. Not my type.
We'll try a different flavor.
That's why I don't go to Starbucks. If I want something good, I'll go to my all-time favorite, WENDYS.
Also, there's no fruit in Snapple, just so you know, Beast.
Hey.
Yes, there's just a fruit holding the
Snapple's
Snapple.
been my thing for the last 10 years. I love this stuff. And I do want to see one thing. 13 and 4 will be the lockdown year for everybody.
Now we're on the Jets. Love it.
And we're going to see a lot of body slams come first game. Here's
well said, Beast. Nick, would you like to take a guess who else is on Mount Unemployment that we can go to next?
I do have a joke I can't miss. He'd like to see 13 and 4 for the Jets. I would like to see his blood sugar get down to 134. That would be nice. Let's go to Vermont, of course.
J-O-B, job.
My
Hello,
turn
I'm
to you?
here. I got
You put a shirt on for Jake. You call him to my show with no shirt. Now you have a shirt on?
Well, I decided to wear one.
You have air conditioning yet, Bobby, or you're still sitting there in a sweaty,
Tuesday
smelly apartment?
we will have my
Tomorrow. I got an email. FedEx will be there tomorrow between 11 and
o'clock.
3:30.
That's the hottest day of the morning too. When it gets
Whoa,
Jake, I got
day of the morning.
Guess what? When I was waiting for it to get on, Dunkin' Donuts just called me for an interview tomorrow.
Wow.
In Winchester. That's where my daughter lives, in Winchester. So.
Let's go, baby. I could see you working at Dunkin'.
Yeah. No, I like the fast pace. I used to work at Keene State Donicom. It's the same thing. But I like Nick said you should do every part of the job. I'm just nervous about the money and the cashiering. That's all.
What I told him was, during the interview process, do not make a demand and tell them I won't do this part. You present yourself with, I'm a team player. I'll do whatever you need, wherever you need me. And then after you're hired, you can be like, you know what? I'm not maybe the greatest at this. Maybe we can use me elsewhere. But don't make demands during the interview.
No, he said, which jobs would you like? I said, I would like that. Everything except cashiering. Well, that was Eric, which was from Wendy's. But I still have the other job too. If when she hires me in June, after the kids go back to college, Works Cafe. So I got 2 in the pot so far.
Well, Bobby, make sure you don't eat too many donuts when you're working there. All right.
No, I'm not going to eat any donuts.
Also, don't be. And I'm just quoting one of our esteemed co-hosts who was nominated for best co-host. Dylan says, Bobby, no dunking your balls in the coffee.
Well, I don't have to worry about dunking my balls in the coffee because I don't drink coffee, so that's good.
You and Beast,
you don't have balls.
Oh no, I do have balls, but they're not quite working to par right now.
What do you think of Beast just guzzling Snapple at?
Oh
10
no, that's not a good thing. He started off with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No,
So far, we know Beast is in the Central Time Zone, so it's 10:07 where Beast lives, and he's on the record saying that he's had Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Snapple so far.
That's not good. I wouldn't do that. Not with my being diabetic. No.
What would you do? Fruity Pebbles and an Arnold Palmer?
No, I eat eggs with butter, eggs with butter with meat, beef, turkey, and chicken, and a little barbecue sauce to taste. That's what I would do. I'm happy. She just called me when you would have talking to Nick. I had to turn on the volume. So.
Pat McAfee's tank top writes in, Bobby was bragging to Dylan about getting a job at Wendy's, and look what happened.
I know. I'm not bragging. I hope I get it. That's what I said. Okay, thank you.
How motivating is getting off Mount Unemployment for you, Bob?
I'm very motivated. I want to get my mug off of that Mount Rushmore. Definitely.
Bobby, you do owe me an apology.
For what?
Last week, I didn't give my opinion. I presented Jake with a question of over and under 1 day, how many days you'd work at Wendy's. I never gave my answer. I didn't. But when I went to call into your show, you attacked me for presenting that question and said that I should shove my 4-toed foot in my own mouth. Do I get an apology for that?
Okay, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
Okay, I accept.
I don't remember. I said.
Oh, you snapped.
Okay. Well, I think I was thinking good news for that job. Well, if the person calls me right away when I did it this morning, Dunkin' Donuts, that seems good. I did it this morning when I was talking on you when you were on your show, Nick. I signed up for that
nice.
job.
Good luck to you, sir. You know we're all rooting for you.
And I told you about the bacon crazy meat.
The what?
What's that? I told you, bacon that
turkey
restaurant.
Bacon.
What?
I don't know. All right, Bob. Well, I'm glad that you have an interview at Dunkin' Donuts. So we got Dunkin' Donuts, the local cafe you mentioned. Hopefully you get one of them, all right?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
How about Walmart? Have you thought about Walmart?
Oh.
Yeah, Walmart is right in Hinsdale.
It's right over the bridge. I looked it up on the map the other day.
Yeah, it's right in Hinsdale. That's where I know where it is.
I would check that. You like to be a greeter. They have people who just check the receipts at the door.
Yeah, I would
when
do
they walk
that.
in. Definitely look at that Walmart, man. See what they got.
I'd be a good greeter, right,
hey,
guys?
JoJo with a super chat, and JoJo made a very, very nice donation to be a part of your air conditioning fund, Bobby. Part of the money I sent you was from JoJo. Bobby, how is the cat? I am very concerned. Everyone's concerned about you killing your cat by putting her in an environment with no AC.
She's fine. Tomorrow should be excellent tomorrow, around 11:30. My friend Ed's going to help me put it in.
Anywhere from 11:30 to 3:20 is what FedEx projects.
Yeah, well,
don't call me at 11:35 saying, where is it?
No, that's the hottest part of the day. If we get it in that time of day, that would be awesome.
All right, Bob,
and you have someone to put it in the window, right?
Yeah, my friend Ed. He's also the one who put Michael's air conditioner for him.
All right.
Matthew Big FC says Bobby doesn't need a job. It's strictly voluntary.
No, I need a job. Be quiet. Not craft. William McDonald's things, gift certificates. Thank you, Knob Craft, for that.
Beastbreaker says that he's retired. Do you think he's retired?
I don't know how he could retire at the age of 41. I don't know how he could do that. Oh, I've been through such a lot of time. Oh, I've been through this and this. I don't know.
You don't believe in Beastbreaker's achievements?
I do, but he shouldn't be retired at 41.
Interesting.
I don't know how you get retired at 41. Tell me the trick to do that. The only people I think could retire is like if you work for the government, right? If you work for the city, like the trash man, my uncle retired young because he worked for the trash. He worked for a very long time. So no, he shouldn't be retired.
Interesting. Well, maybe one day we'll get the answer. But Bob, until then, thank you for the call and good luck with your interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight.
Well, you know I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the super chats are more than just a hat. Bobby.
What a moment. The great Bobby Midnight.
Quite the character. He
Jojo.
called in this morning with no shirt on. If you don't mind, I'm doing a daily series throughout training camp. 9 a.m. I'll be going on every day. The Nick Shine Show. If you don't mind, people, please subscribe, check it out, and I'll go on before Jake every day, right up to when Jake's going on. And Bobby called in today, and I'm looking. I'm like, "Are you shirtless?" Yeah, it's hot. I'm like, "All right." So that's why when he called in and he had a shirt on, I was like, "Damn it, he put a shirt on." That would have been great.
I have a rule around here: no shirt, no service.
That's fair.
That's why I would never play this. We have decorum around here. Jess, thank you. You're in the raffle for 5. Shout out to Jess, who once Jess figured out how to gift membership, she's in the raffle. Good luck, Jess. Hopefully you win one soon. Continue your thoughts, Nick.
I was just doing the jet chant with Bonesy. I feel everyone like stands at attention like a drill sergeant and has to do it, or else we'll get punished.
Amen. Backport Sports says, can't believe the kid that said G-Dub was overrated is winning the poll. Shake my head. Do better. Jet fans. Connor Long going after Garrett Wilson. Wow, but the voters don't seem to care because Connor has made his mark on his calls to this show, and he's even guest hosted a few times. So Connor running away with the Azie Awards right now. 66% of the vote. Wow.
Nice. I mean, it's well deserved, right? Connor's the hardest working kid in show business.
It's true. Connor does a great job. I'm very happy for him. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not heard from this guy in a very long time. Many were reaching out to me asking if I knew where he was. Well, I reached out to him, and he said that he was just getting his mind, getting his body, getting his spirit right for another Jet season. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Asmaniac Madness is back.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Bonesy!
Jake, my brother, Shine.
What up, dog?
Saw this opportunity, my 2 favorite people. Best looking panel out there on YouTube. Had to call in. Had to say what's up.
How are you, Bones? How is the law firm? How is the shoe store? Update us. We haven't heard from you.
Everything's going as good as it can be. I obviously I took some time off from the show, just clearing my head. Jets were so, nothing going on, and sometimes I got to put my head down and really grind with the family and my kids with camps and just. I got other family shit going on. It was just like I need a little time to grind, and also I need to get a new phone. I hope this phone looks better and you guys hear me good. My phone was out for a couple days. You could ask Beast. He's been blowing up my phone, and I haven't been there.
As someone who's hung out with Bonesy several times, I will say he does love to put his head down.
That's too. You're giving them too much info, bro.
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Some things are private. I forget.
You know what though? The Jets are back. We start. I'm so excited. I had to get my mind right, money right, ready for war, and we are ready to go. Camp starts tomorrow. Wanted to ask you guys what your thoughts on if there's any more juice to the Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields taking all the receivers out for the Jets West thing like Sanchez did years ago. And his lineup he took didn't include Garrett or Lazard, right?
Well, so Garrett was in Europe during that. That I can tell you. That's why he had a trip planned already.
Yeah, I was going a little far-fetched thinking maybe Aaron Glenn was like, listen, you take 2 through 7 and you figure out who you have a goddamn connection with, because everyone out there is on the bubble basically. Tyler Johnson and with Gibson was there and Corley was there, which is good to see because we didn't know what was going on with him, and even Irv Charles was there and he tore his ACL in December, so he's going to start on the PUP though, so for the roster stuff. But maybe he has to get a connection with somebody else besides Garrett, and. Maybe Lazard's really on the trading block. I think the Jets are valuing Lazard a little more than everybody else because we need what's their slogan? If you ain't no block, no rock, right? So Lazard's probably a top 3 best run blocking wide receiver in the NFL. So probably why he has a little bit more value to the team.
Best 3 in the NFL? I don't know about that. I think he's probably an above average.
He's a good blocker, bro. Lazard, he stinks.
He's fine.
He's a good blocker. I'll give him that. I think Lazard's a good blocker. So
when he's not holding or blocking people in the back, he's very efficient.
I'm just trying to be positive over here, guys. You know, fence around the corner. Really hoping for no injuries, and we're gonna be hitting. I'm a little worried. You know, I know we're gonna be tackling. It's gonna be a little old school, so I'm hoping the injuries don't start piling up because I do think that's why you know Salah was so soft with it. But look at us tackling during the year, so obviously we had to change shit up. You know.
Yeah. No,
I love you guys. I'm back.
Are you working Saturday?
Saturday. I am working, but I'm actually only working a half day. I'll be getting out of here at like 1 o'clock. I have a family thing going on. So, what are you guys doing for Saturday?
I'm going to Staples and I'll be in the state.
Oh, cool, man. If you're around in the morning, I'm here. I'm here from 10 to I'm catching a 1:30. So,
is business booming? Are Asmaniacs flocking to Alden's to buy shoes ahead of the Jet season?
No. July is a slower month for us. I've been only working 3 days in July. So,
now, have you heard from Beast about the catfishing incident? By the way, we figured he might need a lawyer for that.
I have not. I do have to apologize to Beast. I've been once my phone. I got the new phone and shit. I haven't been answering a lot of calls. I've had the do not disturb on with just like, you know, maybe about 12 to 15 people that are allowed to call me. So I've been trying to just grind out, clear my head and you know, handle some family shit. So I couldn't, it's a bad lawyer. It is a bad look. You know, I haven't been holding up my end of our financial deals.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a wild incident. Did you get the details on what happened?
No.
Well,
hold on. Yes, I did hear because I still try to watch a little bit of the beginning of the shows, all the Jet stuff, and I did catch that he was going on a date and he was telling everybody.
Hey, Beast, what's the deal with this date you have later?
I'm gonna have a little fun. It's called Woo!
Who is the lady?
You'll see in a few minutes. I already have her on my APP app.
You mean you have her number on your cell phone? So what time is the date?
I'm leaving around 11 a.m.
Where are you going?
She has a house out in the suburbs. Take the bus. Boom, boom, boom. You already know the rest.
Well, Beast, if this is your last ever call because you're about to get catfished, maybe murdered, it's been a fun run. That might be the last time we see Beast.
A few hours later.
You know what I had to have gone through today? I got screwed over.
What happened with your date? I thought
I got effed over. I got effed over. So you know.
Oh wait, who told you that was gonna happen?
I just had a smelly, shitty feeling.
Did you meet her in person?
She wanted something, and I'm like, nope, rejected. See ya.
Well, you said that you had a date in the suburbs around 11.
Well, unfortunately, that turned out to be a big Dun, dun, dun.
So you showed up for this date?
I don't care about it anymore.
Did you meet her in person? So what happened? Where were you supposed to meet her?
I was supposed to go all the way over there, but unfortunately, she wanted something, and I wasn't falling for that.
So she wanted money before you guys met? Nope. Was she a man?
Nope, but I knew what she was looking for, and I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to even talk about it.
Did you get catfished like Charles Gorman?
She lied to my face, so unfortunately, no.
How do you know it was a she? I actually think it was a he.
I had it all figured out. So what do I do? Let it go.
You got to be careful in the online dating.
Can we hear more about this date? You were hyping it up. You were talking trash to everyone. It was doubting you. And now you didn't even go on the date. So what happened there, Beast?
Oh.
No, you're spewing nothing. There's nothing for you to spew. Yes. Point at your rear end on mute. Thank you, Beast. Beast, when you calm down and you tell us what happened, we'll bring you back someday.
My camera decided to... I'm over here dying laughing. Can you hear me?
I see you frozen, but that's all. But we hear you.
Yeah, but I didn't see all that when he said, bang, boom, I'm going there for a quick hoo-hoo.
Probably need that as a drop.
Oh, my God. You know, Beast, one thing I'll tell you, dog, you should only pay for it and only pay cash, man. The rest is easy, dog.
Learn from the Sean Watson. Don't use a credit card. Then they know who you are.
cash only. Just pay for it, bro. You ain't gonna meet no girl that's giving the hoo-hoo at the hoo-ha for free food.
Bonesy, you might need a new phone.
This
already
frozen might be a terrific photo for like your law practice.
Oh God, you guys! I needed these laughs, man. I needed the laughs.
Well, Bonesy, we miss you. We're glad you're back, and I can't wait for the 6-win season with you, man. It's gonna be great.
Yes. I miss you guys too. Love you guys. I'm back.
Jake's up from 4 wins though, Bonesy. He's up from 4 wins to 6.
Hell yeah, hell yes.
He's had a 50% increase in his win projection. No one thought it would happen.
Let's go, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Asmaniac Madness, shoe salesman, attorney at law, Mr. Bonesy.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
So you better call Bonesy. Ignore the shoes behind him. Those are law books. Those are law books.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Bonesy. Welcome back to the show. Shout out to Ant Jets. He became a channel member himself and then paid it forward. Gifted 5 memberships. That's a total of 6 entries in our signed Joe Namath photo raffle at the end of the show.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
And if you hear your name called, these are from Ant Jets, Manny D's, Flowing Air Productions, T-Mac, Chris B, Dayteezy, LJ Statues, all receiving memberships. I should mention our weekly giveaway prizes. We did do the Asmaniac raffle on Saturday. Congrats again to Frank P. winning the Parcells helmet, Green Gang winning the AG helmet, and John, who won the Rex Ryan photo. We are giving away this week 2 awesome items so far. A signed Justin Fields helmet and a signed Broadway Joe Namath helmet. So a little quarterback theme to kick off training camp for the 2025 New York Jets. Hoosier Daddy with the super chat. It's that time of year when hope springs eternal, and we think this is the year the Jets don't stomp on our nuts. It is. I think a lot more fans, though, are coming into the year way more guarded than we've seen in previous years. There's just a lot of people saying, just show me things are different before I start to buy back in. And that's even with the new regime when you want to believe things are going to be different. But I don't think there's that same enthusiasm we're typically accustomed as fans during this playoff drought with the new regime coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I don't even really have anything to add to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we made Nick Shine speechless. Papa Jet says, I'm calling it now. Dylan Terman gets 60% of the vote this afternoon. Wow, that's strong. This afternoon, the Azie Award, his favorite co-host. That one is up for grabs. Will it be a blowout like what's happening right now with the Young Guns Azie Award, where Connor Long is running away with the Azie? Connor, 66% of the vote. Decker in second place at 20. Chris Grasso in third with 8%. Jack Talks Jets at 6%. Blowout season in the Azie Awards, Nick Shine.
Yeah, I mean, Connor's Connor, right? You know, it's no disrespect to anyone else in the category, but Connor's on a level of his own. I wonder if Gary allowed Decker to vote, or if he told her who to vote for.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Dominic is up next on our show. Hello, Dominic.
Hey guys, that made me pop.
What's up, man?
Pretty good. Connor, he's just an impressive kid. I obviously disagree with him on his Garrett Wilson take, but I mean, him to just pick it up and do it like that, it's taken me a while to do shows and everything to that effect and get polished at interviews. He's already really good at it. So I don't know how you cannot vote for him actually in this one. So, but I guess my Jets question I have for you guys is, how big of a factor do you think Andre Cisco is going to be here this year? He was kind of a low-key signing in the offseason, but I like it, the aspects and prospects that he can kind of contribute. And then with Aaron Glenn coaching him, it seems like he could be a good factor here.
He's underrated, right? I mean, because he's been good in the league before. He's coming off a down year last year, but it's a 1-year deal. I think we like the coaching and situation he's walking into there. He's playing next to good corners. He is, I think, going to be in a defense that can maybe utilize him better than how he was previously used. Like, look at the Lions safeties. Like, they were really good. Glenn coached those guys up with a ton of injuries. So I'm excited about Cisco. I think maybe we look back and go, that was actually a really good signing. It's a 1-year deal, so if it doesn't work out, it is what it is. But I do think he's an upgrade over what they've had at safety the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, what do you?
Yeah, I'm the same thing. I think this is a guy who could be a good fit in a position of need for us, and who knows if it turns into a long-term thing. But Malachi Moore was drafted too. The best case scenario is Cisco comes here, plays well, but also mentors Malachi Moore, and Malachi Moore can step into that role going forward. So short-term answer, but leads to a long-term answer with teaching Malachi Moore the game also.
Yeah, I have a buddy that's like a big Alabama fan, and I asked him when the Jets drafted, what do you think of Malachi Moore and what he's got? And he had just complete high praise about him and everything like that. So it's definitely kind of exciting the prospects that could happen with it. But yeah, I was kind of, when they signed Cisco, I was like, I like this guy. This could be a good signing. So I'm optimistic for it. So, but good show, guys. Fun stuff.
Bandana is sick, Dominic.
Thanks. Wolverine, baby.
Love it. I'm sure Charles Gorman appreciates that one. Shout out to Gorman. I mean, will that man ever get a job? Nick Shine, you're his coach. Do you have any confidence that he's moving any step forwards towards employment?
I called him Saturday. I was passing over by a local mall, and there's a McDonald's there in Edison, not too far. It's like literally a 3-minute ride from where his parents live. And they have hiring all shifts, and they put the hourly rate for afternoons and overnight. And I called them up, and I said, listen, they're hiring. They're right here. Give them a call. Oh, good to know. I'll look into it.
Thank you, Charles. Dynamite answer to that.
He's Charles.
That's who he be. Ladies and gentlemen, let me mention this. If you join the Patreon for the year and you do it during the show, I'll give you 10 tickets in the Joe Namath daily raffle here, and I'll add you to the weekly raffle. Join the Patreon. You get exclusive access to our Discord channel. You get bonus shows released every single month. There'll be a lot more of those now that the season is upon us. Your name will be added to the intro that always plays before the show starts, that countdown ticker. You get access to exclusive events. You find out about events before the general public, like our Chef Kevin Meetup event, among a bunch of things. So check it out, plus 20% off every item in the Jake Asman merch store, which, by the way, is officially 1 year old. So if you want to buy some Jake Asman Show merch, we've had the store now for a full year, jakeasman.com, and you could pick out anything you want. Use that Patreon code you get with your membership, and you'll save 20%. Beastbreaker just wrote in, I've done more than Gorman. Would you like to ask Beast what specifically he's alluding to?
I can't read Beast's mind. I'm pretty good with going off the cuff with things, but I can't even pretend to know what he's thinking.
Pew, pew, pew. Abracadoodle.
Beast, what do you mean?
Who are you giving the finger to?
At 10 years old, what was I doing at 10 years old? Tree work. My grandfather took me to do some tree work. Learn to do that. Learn how to grind a stumper into the ground at 2,000 pounds. What was I doing to that stumper? That's right. A stumper, with teeth on it, going right into that stump and getting all that crap out of there. Learn how to do that.
Can I ask you a question?
And then anything
Now,
else.
not to interrupt your story about your grandfather and playing with his wood and the stump, but I have a question.
No.
What was the middle fingers for when you came on? Who were you giving the middle finger to?
That's that garbage that I've been seeing on here that I don't deeply appreciate, because that stuff can wipe my ass with it. But as they say in Manchester United, they're not fit to wipe my ass. Yes, I got a bunch of jerseys. As a matter of fact, I got one right here sitting right next to me. All the way from Mother England.
Was that a parachute? Jesus Christ, that's gigantic.
How much soccer you watch, Beast?
Oh, there's plenty. This came from London.
You ever kick a soccer ball?
$50.
I bet you he kicks it better than JJ. Guarantee you that.
That's the real deal. That's Michael Essien, number 5.
Now, Beast, how did we get to you showing off your soccer jerseys when we simply asked you how you've done more than Charles Gorman?
I've broken my back on more things. Let's see. Learn how to change oil. Learn how to put gas in the mower. Mow the grass. Travel.
Who cares? What about jobs?
Oh, I've done, let's see. Before I got into wrestling, before I started doing wrestling announcer, I did what? Factory work. Worked in factories. Sure, I didn't make much, but at least I got something out of the way. That's right. A hard man's job is a man's choice. Then, got into wrestling, did that for 8 years. That went by quick. Another day, whoop, another dollar. Another day, another dollar. That's the way the world works. Everybody picks their ups and downs. Just remember, good, bad. Evil, good.
So, Beast, now that you're
Not so
retired,
good.
what's on the agenda today?
Because I've done my fair share. I've done my time.
Right. So, what are you specifically doing today?
I'm going to move forward. Mr. Tom Ace, not 31 anymore. Try 32. Number 32 was just added.
Can we add you to the scale that Gator sent you? Can you get on the scale that Gator sent you?
You know what? I'm not. You know what? I'm gonna say it right now one more time. Enough's enough. Don't make me go Owen Hart on everybody. And the crazy man Owen Hart.
I think a lot of people would love to see you go Owen Hart.
And it's time for a change.
A lot of people would love to see you pull an Owen Hart.
Oh, you know what? I've heard it all. I thought I've heard it all just when I thought I'd seen it all.
Black Gypsy says you have not done your time.
Now I thought I'd seen it all. You know what? This takes the cake. This takes the cake.
You love cake.
I'm not hungry for cake right now. I'm hungry for a lot of other things. There's
Wait, so if we add cake to it, you would have had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right? And then you would have had a Snapple, and then now cake.
Crunch is the breakfast of champions, and it still is one of the best. I don't care what people think of me.
What about Snapple?
Hate me all you want, but you know what? At the end of the day, 99.9%, I'm more man than what anyone else can carry. No one can't lace my boots, carry my bags, even carry my jockstrap, or even the world championships that I got.
Hey, Purple Belt Mike has offered $100 to see you get on the scale.
I'll go get on my scale for $100.
Pee Wee Herman once said these words: not even a millions or trillions or billions of dollars is going to make me do things. I'm not made of money. I'm made from one man, and that's Jesus Christ himself.
So you won't get on a scale because of Jesus?
Well, no.
I did not see that coming.
I'm my own fair person. See, God don't make people who they are. You got to be who you are. Be who you are.
Nicholas says you're all talk. What do you have to say to that?
Nicholas, you know what? Go right here, fish yourself.
Beast, can I ask you a question?
From the great Stifler.
Beast, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. I got all day. Where am I
Who
going?
the fuck let you use gasoline?
Hey, when I go get gasoline from the gas station, I pay for my fair share. I pay $4
Who
for my
let you use a can of gas?
I got the testicles. I got the brains. I got the balls.
Gator wrote in, put batteries in the scale, hammer head.
I'm not Gorman number one. Gorman punts.
What does that
mean? Why he punts? Because he can't hang.
Do you field goal kick? Are you guys like a special teams unit? Emphasis on special?
Can you kick?
Let's see, a football. Let's see, I used to kick a soccer ball back in my heyday. I used to play football.
Do you have a ball at the house right now?
Baseball back in my heyday. Can't do the things like I used to.
Do you have a ball at the house?
Run that by me again.
Do you have a ball, a soccer ball, a football? Do you have anything at the house that you can bring outside and kick right now?
Let's see. What's this right here that I got over here? From a friend of mine.
We don't know.
Probably a human head.
Ahem.
All right, let's
soccer
go.
ball. Hey, Beast,
let's go
punt
mobile. Bring it outside.
Whoa. This is not just any ordinary ball. This is a real deal ball, and I'm keeping this for life.
Hey, PBM just offered $300 for you to get on the scale. One-time offer.
Let me give you a little hint. This right here.
Ryan writes in, does Beast have a golden snitch from his time at Hogwarts?
Do I get to though? Hey, yo, Ryan, look, bitch boy. Do I give a monkey's bottles nutsack about that crocker shit? Hell no, boy. Either get with the game plan.
You got to fix the internet up, man. We want to hear what you got to say, you know?
Well, don't worry. I got something to fix it. The very first part of the day.
He turned down $300 to get on a scale. How insane do you got to be?
Well, he would then get paid for work. He's retired. He can't.
I guess so. Man.
Just for the record, I'd do anything for $300, Mike. So make an offer.
What do you make of this super chat here? Paolo's been a channel member for 8 months. Watching the Jake Asman show in the shower. Ooh la la. Let's go Jets.
Enjoy.
I think I'm flattered. Imagine listening to Beast in the shower.
Yeah, that's not a voice I want to hear while I'm vulnerable.
I feel like I also might need to play this.
I like good looking chicks in that thing. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too new sexy.
you gotta chill, man.
I always crack up at your voice at the end. It's perfect.
What a moment that was. I remember when that happened live. AD checks in. Congrats to AD. AD, I forget what you won, AD. You won something last week, but whatever it is, congrats. You're the man. BB was a Mick Foley body double with the mask on. Fantastic work, man. AD, we appreciate your support. Let's see. Boomtown Rodent, is it considered stolen valor to claim Little Joey victories as your own as a 32-time championship?
You're betraying your guinea pig. You're taking away his title and trying to claim it as your own. That seems like a bad pet owner. I don't think.
Beast
to be fair, though, I think Gary would have done that too if Cannoli won. Gary would grade that as his championship. So maybe it's just the pet owners are a little off the rocker in this category.
When Secretariat won, the jockey gets the claim that he won too, no?
Yeah, but the jockey did something to help the win.
You don't think Beast had something to do with Little Joey's victory?
No, because I think people wouldn't vote for Beast. They voted for Joey.
I think people saw the love they have for
I think if it was a team vote, Beast would have hurt Joey.
I see. Well, to answer that, that's up for the community. Beast, hold on. Why are you screaming, Beast?
Abracadoodle.
All right. The reason why Beast was on is because I was switching between slides, and StreamYard is brutal to work with. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now on the Gustbuster Hotline is...
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Hey, guys, you hear me?
Oh, we hear you, but your audio is horrendous, Mikey, so this will be short-lived. How are you?
I love you guys. You know my buddy. I got to talk with Sean yesterday. He's going to call me next Sunday. I love him.
Hey, Mikey, give us a jet chat real quick.
J-E-T-S, Jet. I love you, yeah.
Incredible. Mikey, we made the most of your call there. That was one of the most unique sounding alien noises I've ever heard.
Yeah. He may have got some liquid on the laptop there. That sounded rough.
Oh, my goodness. Mikey, you're the man. Appreciate you. More calls here before we wrap up. Last chance to get in our raffle. I think it's an awesome signed Joe Namath photo, man. It comes with the certificate of authentication signed by Broadway Joe himself. 8x10, gift the membership to be eligible. If you don't win later this week, another chance to win a Namath item, a signed helmet by Broadway Joe, and a Justin Fields helmet as our top prizes so far in the raffle. Let's say hello right now to a man who's calling us all the way in Israel. Jason in Jerusalem is up next. What's up, Jason?
Hey, guys. The irony is amazing, by the way. Beast quotes Pee Wee Herman, a man who lost a show because of a public homosexual act, and then invokes the name of Jesus Christ as a God-fearing Christian, as if he's just listening to both of them. I'd love to
Gary or
understand that.
Jason in Jerusalem?
No, I mean, I'm just saying what Beast is doing. I also want to know why he has a Hebrew letter next to your flag on by his window. I don't know if he notices that.
Hey, Beast, what's up with the Hebrew flag?
That's the flag of Greece.
No, you have the Hebrew letter Gimel right there on the right of it. That letter, that signal is a Hebrew letter.
That's Poland right there. That's Funko Land right there.
I can't see it from your angle. Your head's blocking it, man.
That's Iron
This
Maiden.
head
Right
could block the sun, Jason.
Hey, everybody better get the message.
line
This
on
is
the
a global studio headquarters built by design. Why? Because
immediately to the right of the Jake Asman, not on top right. Immediately to the right of it.
There's nothing to it. There's all different posters that I paid for all these years. Even though those tickets
Under where it says Funko Land, you have a Hebrew letter.
that's a cross right there. That's a different.
No, Beast, go over to the window and point. We'll tell you when you got it. It's underneath the red thing right next to the flag. Nope. There you go. Nope. Lower. And closer to Jake's flag. Lower. That.
There.
That's all just tape right there because I had to fix the thing.
He taped the Hebrew letter on the window.
I had to tape the thing about fixing stuff.
It's just he just randomly taped, Jason.
I might not
That's
have
amazing.
the right tool.
Thank you for the time, Beast.
He tapes in other languages.
And he doesn't even realize it. Beast, you're a genius and you don't even realize it, man. It's amazing. You don't know your own level of skill. We just need to tap into it. You're going to rule the world one day, Beast.
He's got Chinese letters in his bathroom.
Anyway, getting back to football here. I would love it. I mean, it's so obviously that the wide receiver room is Garrett and a whole bunch of question marks. But I also remember we've had Robbie Anderson come out of nowhere. We've had Wayne Quebec come out of nowhere. I would love it if at one point we went into training camp not sure what was going on, and we had coaches who were able to coach up some talent to the point that they became starters and legit players in this league. It's almost like we don't understand that coaching staffs can do that anymore because of all the pain that we've had over time. But hope we can do that, because in order to win in this league with a salary cap and how things go, you need to develop talent and not just sign it for big money and things like that. And kudos to the Jets for saying, let's save some money here and hope that some of our coaches can do that, whether it be a Corley.
Right. That's the whole key. But until I see it, I just have doubts, but you're right. I mean, the good teams in the league, they find players like that. They also draft guys on day 2, day 3 that turn out to be long-term starters. The last time the Jets were good, look at their receiving cores, right? Like when the 2000s, Jericho Cotchery and Lavernius Coles were in first-round picks, right? They traded Santana Moss. He was a first-round pick, but their best players were not guys that were drafted in the top of the first round. That Garrett Wilson's awesome, but you got to be able to find other receivers, especially now that you paid Garrett. You're not going to be able to pay 2 top 10 salaried receivers unless you're the Bengals, which is probably not a good way to build your team long-term. So, you got to be able to your point, Jason, find those type of players 100%.
Right. And it'll be also good if we get them in the kicking game, because it seems that's where we're trying to save money.
Yeah, they're penny pitching a lot at special teams, though. I'm very concerned there.
Agreed. Very much so. And, what could go wrong with Carrie Vedvik and Alex Kessman and whoever else, Sam Ficken.
Yeah,
one of the craziest stories.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. One of the craziest stories is, I don't know if you remember this, 2001. Tom Tupa was injured on opening day, and they had a punter, Tommy Parks. They weren't even sure who this guy was in retrospect. He was 10 years older than he claimed to be. Samini has an old article about it. This guy was just an enigma in terms of who he really was on the team. He was their opening day punter simply because Tupa missed a game. Maybe somebody in the chat remembers it and can educate me on it. But I'll shut it off, and hopefully Beast will put some more tape on and create some hieroglyphic code or something that when the archaeologists will discover it in 2,000 years, we'll try to find out what genius terminology was being taught.
He's releasing a sleeper cell for all we know. We have no idea.
Jason, thank you very much. Great call. That's an all-time Beast moment there. I
taped my window together in a Hebrew letter. You can't write this shit.
Big fella wants to know, did Beast get fired as global enforcer? No, Beast is he's as global enforcer as ever.
Obviously, he's writing in Hebrew. He's definitely global.
Beast, some would say, is the immortal god of all gods.
Man amongst men.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to play something that Nick Shine was a part of. Last year, we kicked off the Jet season with a preseason watch party at T Squared. And you'll notice in this clip, I went on Nick Shine's shoulders that night, and we plan to do it again on August 16th. Our first watch party of the year, the Jets and the Giants. We're headed back to T Squared Social, August 16th. It is a 7 p.m. kickoff. 6:30, the party will start. Tickets are just $18. It includes 1 Friday beer, 1 green tea shot, and a raffle ticket. We'll do a Jets merch and Jets ticket raffle at halftime of the game. When you get a ticket, you get 5 tickets in our weekly raffle whenever you do it. So lock in your spot. The more people that buy tickets, the more revenue we have to make the raffle at halftime as epic as possible. August 16th. Let's go, baby. Jets, Giants. Jets backups versus Jackson Dart. What's better than that? Let's go. Lock in your spot. The link to do so is in the description. I actually just posted it in the live chat if you're tuned in live. Nick, are your shoulders ready for my tuchus?
I'm ready. Can't wait for it. It's going to be fun. We'll be there. And I have a question for you. With the Cloverleaf Tavern, you said you're doing a show. Does that mean
uh-oh.
Did I just disappear?
Where'd you go? You did Mikey Midnight hack your audio?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
I will everything just froze. I'll exit. I'll come right back in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine will be right back. In the meantime, let's check in with Papa Jet, who's on the line. Hey, Papa.
Hey, Jake, you got me?
Hey, Papa, what's going on?
Not much. Hey, I was just, I posted in the chat. I was going to give, I did. I gave Nick and the big fellow a shout out because they have 2 of the hardest jobs in our community here. Nick as Charles's job coach and the big fellow as Beast counselor, you know. Well, shit, you might as well just throw the Bonesy in there too as Beast lawyer. But we all know, Jake, that Beast is a man of many talents. But number one has to be a dancer. Because every question that you asked him that we want answered, he gives us 10 answers, but the one we want. He dances. And I say he does the curly shuffle. Do you remember the Three Stooges?
I do.
Okay, well they had a song out called the Curly Shuffle. So I'm just suggesting, every time Beast gives a non-answer like he always does, you should just play that Curly Shuffle, and I think it would be pretty fun.
I like the suggestion, Papa Jet. I can tell you, a lot of times we learn information about Beast from other listeners who, maybe grew up with him or went to Hogwarts with him. Like this was just sent to me by a classmate of Beast at Hogwarts, apparently. This was a photo of Beast catching the golden snitch during one of the Quidditch games there.
Awesome. And you know what? Beast does kind of look like Curly. He could pass for Curly. So just a suggestion, not telling you how to do your job, but I just thought it would be a funny thing to add when he dances.
Papa, you're the man. I appreciate you. Great job. Great call from Papa Jet there. Quick reminder, this show's available in podcast form, either Apple or Spotify. You could get the show. Just search Jake Asman Show. It comes right up. Leave a great rating there. It helps us. We're trying to grow the audio for the show or reach more people. A lot of people, it's been cool to see, maybe found the show as a podcast on either Apple or Spotify. Then they're like, wait a second, this is a YouTube show. So we're growing every day there. So spread the word for those of you who are podcast listeners or your friends are. If they're not into the YouTube space, you can access the full show every day, wherever you get your podcast in audio form. Waiting for Nick Shine to rejoin. I guess he was having some internet issues. So with that said, we're nearing the end of the show anyway. So let's declare a winner first in the Azie Awards, because let's be real, it is quite the blowout. It is a testament to the great Connor Long that it is. The winner of the Young Guns Award is Connor Long. He takes home the Azie with 66% of the vote. Second place, Decker with 19. Chris Grasso in third with 7. Jack Talks Jets in fourth with 6. So congratulations to Connor Long on the Azie Award. And then this afternoon on the show, favorite co-host will be up for grabs in the Azzies. And if you want to look ahead to the first show tomorrow, biggest show villain. Now that is going to be wild. A look at your upcoming Azie Awards. But this afternoon, favorite co-host is on the line. Nick Shine's figured out his internet, and he rejoins us. Hello, Nick.
I don't know what happened. I had to reboot real quick. Everything froze. I couldn't get anything going.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be here. I feel like Beast coming into the show multiple times throughout. So with the show at Cloverleaf, does that mean Nick Shine, producer again? I'll run everything for you like we did at the draft party.
We can, yeah. I was going to reach out to you.
That was a great time, man.
Yep, we'll make it happen. I have to talk to Chef Kevin about the logistics because I was on the fence if I was going to do a show or not, but I think I am because I think it'll be a lot of fun when we have that many Asmaniacs in one spot to not do something.
Hell yeah. It'll be a good time.
Yep, 100%. All right, let's do one more call, and then I will raffle away the Joe Namath photo. So this is your last opportunity to enter the Broadway Joe Namath signed photo raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Adam, who is next. Hello, Adam.
Hey, guys. I think we'll see Connor on a couple more awards next year, nominations. He's just high flyer. He's really, really good, as you all know. So, Jake, really grateful you giving him his shot. He's awesome in the chat, too. So I want to ask you both, actually, see if you come to have the same answer on this. Which wide receiver do you think is going to outperform expectations?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm
you know what? I'll go with Lazard.
Yeah.
And here's why. Everyone is so low on him that if we get 35 catches and 5 touchdowns, everyone's going to be like, we never saw this coming, right? Like, I think everyone is so low on the guy. You know, you could say the same for Corley as well, that the expectations are so low. Any production is going to be a nice addition to this.
How about you, Jake? What do you think?
Honestly, I'll use the same argument for Arian Smith because most people think that was a reach and he's going to stink. So if he does anything kind of like what Nick was saying about Lazard, I'll just apply it to Arian Smith. That's also wishful thinking on my part because that'd be awesome, but no, I'll go Arian Smith. What about you, Adam?
How about Garrett? Why not, right? Always borderline top 10 in some people's minds. What if he is a top 5 next year? Because he's got the chemistry, which he didn't have with Aaron Rodgers. And his potential is definitely another, 300 to 500 yards more than what he typically gets. Why not Garrett?
I would love it. If
That'd be pretty awesome.
Top 5 statistically, you're looking at 110 plus catches. You're looking at 1,400 plus yards, and you got to get the double-digit tight ends. I don't know if we're going to throw in that volume, though, Adam. I'll be completely honest with you. I think Garrett will be far and away our top target guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it's going to be at that volume. I hope, but I would take the under on most of that.
It's interesting because we extend drives, right? Then there's going to be more opportunities for everybody to perform. And there's this odd stat that I picked up from last season, which was I think we had the record. It was a Jets team record for most first downs. Would you ever imagine that with how ineffective the offense was, that we had the most first downs in a season, yet everyone was pretty disappointed with the offense?
Well, we didn't strike big.
Right.
We didn't throw the ball downfield very often. The only big play I remember is Breece Hall catching a dump off in Pittsburgh, and he ran all the way down to the 1 or the 2.
Jaguars game.
The bomb and
Adams.
Devontae. Yeah. And that was the only 2 downfield plays. And the Breece one was a swing pass, basically. So you got to open up the offense. Even if you just throw it to Arian Smith deep early in the game, it's going to open up a lot of things because now the safeties aren't coming downhill. We were literally going 3.5 yards. Even our passes were quick little passes. You got to open up the offense. You got to throw the ball downfield. You got to make the defense defend as if there's a threat to get past them. Otherwise, it's really easy to play defense coming forward all the time.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually think if the playbook is opened up, there could be some spots for Corley. When you look at his best plays even in college, and even when he played a little bit for the Jets and got some production, it was a lot of like at the line of scrimmage, before the line, behind the line of scrimmage stuff, and then just let him create, as opposed to teaching the dude how to run perfect routes. Like that kind of rigidity may not work with certain players once you know their style. And for folks that say, oh, well, Garrett freestyles or whatever, I think I've heard that term on routes. Like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe make the playbook open up to let them create. Like if we don't want to let our stars create plays, then we can't complain when they're not called playmakers. So you can't have it both ways.
That's fair. You're right.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you guys get to the raffle. Good chat, Nick. Good chat, Jake. See
Adam,
you're
the man. I saw someone wrote in, is Adam related to Alan? That's what people in the chat always say. G Money wrote that in. Are they related? They do look alike, although we like Adam, unlike Alan.
I have a question for you. As guest today, am I eligible for the raffle as guest since I'm not in the chat?
That feels like an issue if you win.
Okay.
Now I'll put you in, but then I feel like if you win, the chat will go nuts.
I was in the chat one day and I won. And whenever
You
people don't win, they go nuts.
Yes. And people say it's rigged, and I'm like, if it's rigged, why would 6 rings have won the prize?
It's impossible to rig it. That's what's great about the randomizer wheel. But all right, I get it.
And then Dylan says, guesting to be entered from here on out. Then, yeah,
hey, I'm trying to make Jake money. I'm trying to make Jake money here.
Man,
all right,
fair point.
I will wait for another day when I'm not on the show.
That's fair. That is fair. All right, here's what we're going to do, folks. I am just about ready for the raffle, but I need a little more time. So I'm going to play a short clip, and then after this clip, guess what? It's raffle time. We'll spin the Wheel of Champions.
People think I don't want to work, which is not true. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help.
Love it, dude.
You're talking about how people don't.
You can't say that people think you don't want a job and then say that you came off a real good nap. It's a hard 2 sentences to put together, Charles. It is. You got Jake off the camera.
How do you not see the irony of that, Charles?
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, yeah. It is just about that time. Mike Dems, you were officially the last person that was entered in the raffle. I put you in for one because you gifted a channel membership. With that said, we need some music, please. Boom. All right, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. If you don't win, you're still eligible to win a weekly prize later this week. We got a Namath helmet and a Fields helmet signed by both Jet quarterbacks in there so far. Okay, good luck to all. Thanks to everyone who makes these possible. Training Camp Eve, we had to do something huge, like the first time we've done a Namath giveaway at the end of a stream. Okay, the winner of the Broadway Joe photo is...
I'm going to go with Kyle Clifton because it's the first name I saw when I looked at it.
JoJo! How about that? JoJo entered the raffle with a $10 super chat asking about Bobby Midnight's cat because she was very, very concerned about Robert Woodruff living in a apartment all summer that's 100 degrees with no air conditioning, worried about Bobby's cat. JoJo also made a incredibly kind financial gesture to the money we raised to get Bobby air conditioning. So a very deserving winner of the Name It photo. Congrats to JoJo. She's also a part of our 4.5% female demo. So JoJo, this photo of Broadway Joe will be coming your way. Congrats to JoJo. More chances to win prizes on the show throughout the week, including something this afternoon. Nick, fun show. Tell people about the Nick Shine Show and why they need to subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, we're doing a daily 9 a.m. for training camp throughout the month of, throughout the entire camp. Sunday nights, 8 p.m., Shine Time and Prime Time. That's where, we get a good guest on. And that's like the flagship show. But, mornings, 9 a.m. And, check it out.
Love it. Love it, ladies and gentlemen. He is Nick Shine. My name is Jake Asman. Thank you all for watching. We're back this afternoon in the 4 p.m. Eastern hour, so I will talk to you guys then. Again, You guys are the best. Thanks for making this show possible. It's crazy to think that we're almost at training camp. It's been a grind. There's not as much news as we're used to doing this, so we've had some fun with the Asmaniacs. And on that note, I will talk to you guys soon. Jets, Jets. How about this on the way out of here? I think you all will remember times about a year ago when this guy took center stage.
What's going down, dude? I'm at a park right now, and I'm pumping out food. A lot better than Chipotle. Bar food and wing dingers and stuff like that. We're getting pounded. We don't have a dishwasher yet, so we're doing dishes. You know, what are we banging on Joe D today, or what's the scoop? I want to ask people if there are any Jet fans out here. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Maybe we have a Jet fan. Hey, come back here. Are you a Jet fan? You are? Affleck? And maybe you are. I guess not. Probably not.
Nice hair, Jackass.
This is Jet Talk here.
Jets are trash, pink eyes. Bobby!
I really don't give a crap, you cartoon character.
Speaking of crap, I got food poisoning from those wing dingers.
Bobby made my day. My man, Bobby Midnight. God bless him. That was awesome.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.